Welcome back to the KIX 96.5 Morning Show. We love featuring indie artists on the show, and today we're heading to Colorado to chat with singer-songwriter Rhett Haney. Rhett's going to be in Sheridan at the Warehouse Gastro Pub next weekend, Friday and Saturday night performing. And now we can call him a Nashville recording artist because he released his brand new song called Acting My Wage. We're excited to have Rhett back on the show. First, Rhett, thanks for coming on.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Yeah, what a summer. Holy cow, you stayed busy this summer. How did it go?
It's really good. You know, in August, we had more days with gigs than we had without. So that was all right, man. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, what's happened since 2022? You said at the end of 2022, it was your biggest year ever. It just keeps getting bigger. What's going on?
Yeah, you know, it's just we keep the gigs are getting better, the pay is getting better. I like that part especially. You know, we just I think this Nashville trip really kind of helped us quite a bit. Honestly, I went out there last time we talked. I think it was back in April. You know, I was going to go there in May, and I went out there. It worked out great. The only thing is, I had a really bad situation with the rental car. I ended up spending almost $1,000 for a car that I drove maybe about 45 minutes.
Ouch.
They took me for a ride on that one, literally, no pun intended.
Yeah, that wasn't good.
Yeah, but I ended up recording these songs and came back here and polished them up a little bit, and then released the first one on August 11th, Acting My Wage, and it seems to be doing pretty good. Everybody seems to like it, so
it's going over well with the crowd, so that's a good thing. You were just in Jackson at the start of the month. Always a good time at the $1 Million Bar.
Yeah, that place is off the hook every time we go there. It's you know, if I were to drink every shot that's handed to me at that place, I wouldn't survive, I don't think.
You'd be falling over in the middle of your set.
Oh my gosh, I'd probably be taken to the hospital, to be honest with you. It's way too much, you know. Well,
they're nice. You know, they like to party with the band, I guess.
For real, it's, you know, people from all over the world, so it's total tourist trap there. But I like it because it's always a lot of people, and it's always a lot of people, like I said, from all over the world. So my stuff, at least the name is getting out there, you know.
Yeah.
I think that's helping quite a bit.
Yeah, it's great exposure. If you go and check out Rhett he's on Instagram, Facebook, you put up a video, kind of like behind the scenes from, I think you were at the $1 Million Bar, where it's your inner earpiece, and you have the click track going on, which for non-musicians like myself, tell us a little bit about the click track, because it's keeping you in time. Tell us about this.
So there's multiple reasons we do that. One, you know, I've always just, you know, back in the days when I was just you know, bass player, you know, where I wasn't a singer, I was the few bands I was in doing some studio work. That was when I was kind of introduced to the click track. And there's multiple reasons that when you do it, when you're recording, a lot of times anymore, it's called putting you on a grid, right? So that way it's a lot easier for, you know, the editor and post to fix things. You know, if the whole song is at perfect time, then it's a lot easier for him to fix stuff in post. But live, the reason we do it, you know, a lot of our stuff's very dancey, and we want people to be able to dance. And I think people subconsciously pick up on a band whose meter goes up and down, even if it's slightly. You know, they pick up on that, and I think it sort of turns into their brain. It turns into them sounding like a sloppy band, and I certainly don't want that.
No. You
know, I'm all about keeping the people dancing, because if they dance, they drink, and if they drink, the clubs pay us more. So that kind of blows everything. But, you know, another reason is we have this time around, different from last time we went through Sheridan there, we have these video monitors that we'll have on stage with us that show different things during different parts of the songs, as well as our lighting show is all synchronized to the music and all programmed and everything. And if we're not on that click perfectly, then the light cues aren't happening when they're supposed to. all that kind of stuff. It all has to line up perfectly, or else it all kind of falls apart. So those are the two main reasons we use a click.
Yeah, there you go. We pulled the curtain back a little bit. So Rhett's just not getting on stage and playing. There's a lot more to it than that. Oh, during the whole Motley Crue fiasco, when they were playing their Inner Ears, they had the click track. And I've heard about it. I knew that they use it a lot in the studio, but I thought, and it's not annoying. I mean, you just get used to it, or?
Well, so what I do is because we have individual volume control of all the different instruments. And, clearly on mine, I have my voice and my bass and the click itself a little bit louder than everything else. And that's just, so I can hear what's going on. But the click, though, I have it at a level where once the music gets going, it kind of sort of disappears. And the nice thing is with my drummer, I don't know if you noticed how I mentioned he's on it. He's a timing machine, as long as he's on it, the click just sort of disappears for me. If he starts to fall off meter even a slight bit, you'll all of a sudden hear the click, but it's pretty rare that I hear it. The only time that it's nice to have it when it's part where he's not playing and the guitar player needs it to make sure that he's in time, so that when it is time for the drummer to come in, we all come in on time and everything. It's pretty cool.
Yeah,
there's a lot of stuff going on up there other than just playing, Yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah, go check him out. Rhett Haney is at rhetthaney.com. He's on Instagram, Facebook. His brand new single, Acting My Wage, is out. Now he's going to be at the Warehouse Gastropub next Friday and Saturday night. Boy, you were at the Grizzly Rose not too long ago. The place was packed. You mentioned it, Rhett. You were a bass player before. You were also a drummer. How cool is it being the front man looking out there now? They're there to see you, Rhett. How awesome is that?
Oh man, it's so cool. It's how do I explain it? The one thing that kind of throws me off is, and this is I first experienced this when I was a drummer playing at the Grizzly Rose, when the dance floor is totally packed, and they get this sort of, they all get in sync with each other and they're all doing the exact same dance. There will be a moment where they'll all like move to the left all at the same time, and it's the sort of same effect as, have you ever been sitting in your car, just at a parking lot somewhere, and the car next to you slowly starts to move. It makes you think you're moving.
Yeah,
that kind of thing. Well, it happens when you're standing there sitting on the drums watching the crowd. They do that move, and you're just like, whoa! It feels like the whole room just moved. It's really strange. And now that I'm up front, it's pronounced even more. It's a pretty intense feeling. But it's really cool because I have all this interaction with the crowd and stuff now. I don't have to wish anymore that I could interact with the crowd. Behind the drums, I actually can now. It's really cool. I like it a lot.
Yeah. Well, and one thing, I don't know what's going on with your cars. You mentioned the rental car, but your Suburban's been broken into like twice. The good thing is you have cameras. Is this in Denver? Where is this happening?
Yeah, Denver. Places. I'll reserve my cussing for later, but it's this city has just really gone downhill. It's really crazy. We have the homeless camps all over the place. I mean, you can't drive down the street for 30 seconds without running into one. And, a lot of this are those folks, they, for whatever reason, just are going around breaking into cars. And I've had my car stolen from where I live. When they recovered it, a couple of homeless guys had been sleeping in it. That was just, they stole it so they had somewhere to stay. And I heard, I don't know if this is true, but, well, I know for a long time, especially like since mid-COVID until now, Denver was number one on the list of the amount of cars stolen, and we just got downgraded to number 3. So I guess we're doing better. Out of how many cities in the United States?
Yeah, that's not good.
Yeah, they got a lot of work to do around here.
Well, it's a good thing you have a camera.
Yeah, it's good, but it's bad because. Anytime there's any movement in the camera, my phone dings and it wakes me up, and I have to check it and see. And I'm certainly not interested in like hurting anyone, you know.
No.
I mean, unless they're trying to hurt me. But I've certainly scared the crap out of a lot of folks down there that were messing around with the cars or the, you know. The other night, this kid broke into my Suburban, just walked up, shattered the window, crawled through the window, and rifled through all my stuff. Didn't take a single thing, and he got out of there before I was able to get down there and catch him. But
man, yeah, and they look right at the camera, which is hilarious too.
Yeah, it's like and it doesn't even. I think the thing is, it doesn't look like a camera. And what's nice is I can park right below my apartment, and so these cameras not only pick them up, but they're also hooked to my Wi-Fi, and so it flings their image and all the activity right up to the internet immediately. You know, so even if they were to steal a camera, I'd still have their face at least. You know.
Yeah.
But Denver Be Wildin'. There's a hashtag you can look up, Denver Be Wildin', and you'll see all kinds of crazy stuff going on around here.
No. Not good. Well, Rhett, you've got some funny videos. You have life hacks on your Facebook page. One of them, you're licking a gas cap. How was that? That the look on your face is hilarious.
Well, like I said in the video, it was a bit spicy. I mean, it's not to pull the curtain back again, but it was that was all kind of put on. I don't know. I was sitting there with my guitar player, and I was like, dude, I just had an idea. You got to film this, and so it turned out pretty funny. I think a lot of people had a lot to say about it. That's for sure.
Yeah. If you need some life hacks, go follow Rhett on Instagram and Facebook. He's got some hilarious videos on there. The genie one, we'll see if you can figure that one out when you go watch that one, but it's hilarious. Well, you mentioned Nashville. We talked a little bit about it before you went last time. How'd you get hooked up in Nashville? Who'd you find? Who are you working with out there?
So speaking of the $1 Million Cowboy Bar, we were doing a run there probably early 2023, maybe late 2022, and this kind of old fella comes up. He's like, hey, he says, have you ever been to Nashville? You doing a recording? I said, no. And I got a buddy out there. He's a songwriter, and his name's Trafton Harvey, and you should get a hold of him and see what you guys can do together. And I gave him my card, is what it was. He said, I'll have him get a hold of you. And we hear that stuff all the time. You get to the point where you're just like, okay, and because you won't hear from the person. That's just 99% of the time you just don't. But it wasn't, it was maybe about a couple weeks later, and the guy called me from Costa Rica. He was down there getting married, and his buddy, gave him my info, and he got a hold of me, and he as you know, oftentimes in Nashville, this is definitely the case with like George Strait. Out of the 60 or 70 number one hits that guy has had, he's written or been involved in the writing of maybe 2 or 3 of them. Yeah. But so that's kind of the approach I took. We spoke of Whiskey and White Claws last time. I wrote that one with the help of a buddy, but the stuff that I did in Nashville was all written by Trafton and some of his friends. And basically what he did is he sent me about 30 songs, and I went through them, and I picked out the ones that kind of fit my vibe the best and that I, relate to and whatnot, and chose 8, and then just went out there and knocked them out over 3 days. Actually, my first time in Nashville, I didn't even get to see Nashville. I went to this guy's place. We recorded the songs, and we would have gone downtown, but it was during the Taylor Swift when she was there for like 2 or 3 nights.
Yeah,
and
so it was impossible.
People everywhere. He's like, dude, trust me, you don't want to go there. He's like, next time you come, we'll go down there. So, probably in about 6 months, maybe a year, I'll be going back out there, do some more songs with him.
Yeah,
he's a cool guy. Very efficient. Gets things done quickly.
Well, yeah, you did 8 songs in 3 days.
Yeah.
Wow. You didn't have time to do anything else.
Yeah, I was a little sore, that's for sure.
Man, that's impressive. Well, is there a fiddle player in the band, or was this just a one-time thing for Grizzly Rose? What's happening there?
So she joins us for the Grizzly Rose.
Okay.
She has another band that she fronts and manages and everything up in Fort Collins. More of a kind of rock type situation, but You know, she was doing the smaller gigs with us and stuff, but it just got to where it was getting to be a little too much for her, a little too much work. So she's awesome. I mean, she's the perfect fit. You know, she plays fiddle, and then when the song doesn't have fiddle, she plays acoustic, and she sings background vocals wonderfully. You know, speaking of which, if there's anybody out there in the listening audience, you know, we're looking for a replacement. It's got to be, you know, not trying to be sexist here, but it needs to be female because of the higher register harmonies, singing stuff, who can mainly play acoustic and play fiddle. If you know, that would be really cool, because when we do stuff like Devil Went Down to Georgia, it always goes over really well. So,
yeah, and it's awesome to have a fiddle player in the country band, that's for sure. Tonight, Rhett, if you're listening down in Colorado, he's going to be at the Tailgate Tavern on the patio, and then next weekend he's going to be in Sheridan, right here at the Warehouse Gastro Pub, Friday and Saturday night. I mean, what's the band think after all that's happened in the last year?
Well, they're just along for the ride. You know, they're enjoying it. And, you know, they're always kind of bouncing ideas off of me. In fact, having the video monitors on stage, that was my drummer's idea. You know, everyone's just always kind of putting their heads together and throwing out ideas of how we can improve this or how we can improve that. And, you know, like I said during our last interview, you know, ever since video killed the radio star, you gotta have something to look at. You can't just stand there like a lump on a log on stage. Doesn't matter how good you are.
Yeah.
You know, you gotta give them everything. You gotta hit them from every angle anymore. So, you know, I mean, we make sure, number one, top priority, that we're playing everything properly, of course. But then after that, where do you go? Well, you start adding visual elements and stuff, and that's why we have the light show that's all synchronized and the video monitors and stuff. And yeah, if you people come on down, you'll see a cool show Friday and Saturday. That's for sure. Yeah,
go and check him out. I think it's a free show too, so definitely go and see Rhett next Friday and Saturday at the Warehouse Gastro Pub. Are we going to keep doing singles? What are we going to do with these 8 songs?
You know, I'm just going to, unless you're Taylor Swift or Morgan Wallen, selling albums just doesn't do anything anymore. Especially, like, you know, selling CDs at Walmart. I mean, it's just going through all the mechanical license stuff. You don't even have to deal with it anymore. It's you know, most people, especially indies, are, you know, just releasing single after single after single. You know, once they're done, I might put them all together on an album and drop it digitally, you know, but yeah, it's just going to be singles. The next one coming up is, and we're doing it just about every 2 months. The next one coming up is going to be called "Turn This Truck Around." It's a really cool tune. Kind of has a Jason Aldean sort of vibe to it. And that's going to be October 20th. We'll be releasing that. So
sweet. Well, and I love the new one, the title, the whole song, "Acting My Wage." It's great.
It's pretty funny. The whole idea is, you know, it's a, you know, first person point of view. I can't, you know, I don't make a lot of money, so what I do is I figure out ways to get drinks for free, you know, or at least get them cheap, you know. And pretty funny stuff.
Yeah, well, here it is, "Acting My Wage." Rhett Haney, go check him out. He's going to be at Warehouse Gastro Pub next Friday and Saturday night. Tonight, he's at the Tailgate Tavern. Go and check out his website, because you're playing like every day this weekend, right?
Yeah, pretty much. That's about how it's going to be the rest of the year. Actually, I've already booked a couple of clubs all the way through 2024 now. So,
wow. Well, that's a good thing.
Yes, it is. It's better than the alternative, that's for sure.
Yeah, go and support him. RhettHaney.com. Rhett, always a pleasure. Thanks so much for coming back on.
For sure, man. I'll talk to you soon.
Acting My Wage. It's Rhett Haney. It's KIX 96.5.